Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. And in this video I'll be solving problem C, that was card game from Edu round 136, and I will also make a video problem D, so stay tuned for that as well. And before we start with the solution, I want to say that C was a good problem, but the statement could have been better, right? Because the statement was quite ambiguous and you had to read the problem statement over 3 or 4 times to get what the problem was really asking for. So C was a good problem, but the statement could have been a bit better. And with that, let's start with the solution. In the problem, we have been given n cards where n is even and n is also up to 60. So we have been given n cards and all of these cards are numbered from 1 to n. So we have 1, 2, 3, so on up to n. We also have two people. One is Alex and the other is Boris. We will distribute half the cards to Alex and we'll distribute half the cards to Boris. So we'll give n by 2 cards to Alex and we'll give n by 2 cards to Boris. Then they will start to play a game. Then we'll start with the game which has n by 2 turns. In turn 1, Alex will move first. And let's say Alex picks some card with value x. Now Boris has to choose some card whose value is more than x. And if he is not able to pick such a card, if he cannot pick such a card, then Boris loses, right? So in first turn, Alex will go first. He will pick some card x. Now Boris has to pick some card whose value is more than x. After Boris picks such a card, both of these cards will be removed. Now both of these cards will be removed. And now we'll start with turn 2. In turn 2, Boris will move first. So in turn 2, Boris will first pick a card. Let's say he picks some card y. And now Alex has to choose some card whose value is more than y. And if he's not able to do so, if he cannot pick a card, then Alex will lose, right? So that is the problem. And in turn 3, again Alex starts first, right? So Alex will again pick a card in turn 3. So that is how the problem will work. And given this, you have to find the number of ways. Find the number of ways you can distribute cards such that Alex wins, Bob wins, or it's a draw, right? So that is the problem. You have to find the number of ways you can distribute the cards such that Alex wins, Bob wins, or it's a draw, right? So how can we do this? So let's start with the observations. The very first observation that you need is, if Alex has the nth card, he will always win, right? Because in the first turn, Alex always goes first, so he can just pick the nth card. Now there is no card which Boris can pick, right? Because n is the highest card. So Boris cannot pick anything now. So Boris will lose. And in how many ways can Alex get the nth card? So the number of ways for that is, number of ways Alex has n is equal to n minus 1c n by 2. And how do I get this n minus c n by 2? To show this, I can draw this out. So Alex has n by 2 cards and now one of them is fixed, right? One of them has to be n. Right, so now the number of cards left are how much? This is Alex and this is Boris. One of the cards is now fixed, that is Alex has n. So now the number of left cards are how much? Number of leftover cards are n minus 1, and now we have to choose n by 2 out of these n minus 1 cards, right? So number of ways are n minus 1 c n by 2, right? So that is the number of ways Alex has the nth card. So the number of ways Alex wins is how much? It is n minus 1 c n by 2 plus some other ways plus something else. We don't know this something and we will try to find this something now, right? So if Alex has the nth card, he will always win. That is the first observation. So now let's move on to the second one. Now we have thought about all the cases where Alex has the nth card, right? So now we just need to think about the cases where Boris has the nth card. So now we know Boris has the nth card. And if Boris also has n-1th card, he will win. He will always win, right? So now we know Boris has the nth card, but if Boris also has the n-1th card, he will always win. How can we show this? So right, we have some turn 1. Alex will play some card X, and against this Boris will play n-1, right? This is Alex and this is Boris. We know x will never be equal to n, right? Because Boris has the nth card. So Alex will play a card X whose value is not equal to n, and against this Boris will play the n-1th card, right? And both of these cards will be removed now. Now this is turn 2. Now Boris has to move first. And as Boris has the nth card, Boris can just play the nth card, and now Alex has no card that is greater than n, right? So now Alex will lose. So that is how, if Boris has the n-1th card, Boris will always win, right? So you can say number of ways Boris wins is how much? It is n-2 c n by 2 plus something. And how do we get this n-2 c n by 2? It is quite similar to the last thing here, because we know we have n by 2 cards with Alex and we have n by 2 cards with Boris, but now 2 of these cards are fixed. Now we know one of them is n-1 and one of them is n, right? So we are left with n-2 cards. And we have to choose n by 2 among n-2. So you can say number of ways Boris wins is n-2 c n by 2 plus something, right? So that is that. And now we are left with, now we know that Boris has nth card and Alex has n-1th card, right? So you can draw it something like this. You will have this and you will have this. This is Alex and this is Boris. Now we know Alex has n-1th card and Boris has the nth card, right? So in the first turn, Alex will play the n-1 card and Boris will play the nth card, right? And both of these will be removed. And now we have turn 2 and now Boris will play some card. But aren't you able to see, right? If you remove n-1 and n, isn't the problem same as n is equal to n-2, right? Because now you have all the cards from 1 to n-2, right? And you are doing the same thing again. The only difference is now Boris is moving first, right? So if you know the solution for n-2, you can find the solution for n, right? So now we know that after turn 1, the problem reduces. Problem becomes solving for n-2, right? And you can solve n-2 using n-4 and so on, right? So you can see this is kind of recursion. After you remove n-1 and n, you are left with n-2 cards, and it is very similar to the given problem, right? So now you have to solve for n equal to n-2. So now we will find this something, right? We were saying number of ways Alex wins is n-c n by 2 plus this something. So now we'll find this something. So we know that number of ways Boris wins is n-2 c n by 2 plus something. And number of ways Alex wins is equal to n minus 1 Cn by 2 plus something. So we can define a dp, let's say dp of n, and we can give it 3 parameters 0, 1 and 2. Here it means that in n cards Alex wins, here in n cards Boris wins, and here in n cards it's a draw. So if we start solving it, and we know that Alex has n minus 1, Boris has n, so Alex will play n minus 1, Boris will play n, right? So now we're left with n minus 2 cards. So in how many ways can Boris win? So that is, what is the answer for dp of n1? It is n minus 2 Cn by 2 plus the something, right? So now we have to find this something using dp. So now we want to find this something. So if we are left with n minus 2 cards, now Boris will move first. Now Boris will move first. So cannot you say now Boris is equivalent to Alex, right? Because Alex was moving first, but now Boris will move first, so, right? So he is equivalent to Alex now, right? So you just want to find the number of ways Alex can win in n minus 2 cards. So you can write here dp of n minus 2, right? In n minus 2 cards, in how many ways Alex can win, right? Because now Boris is equivalent to Alex, because Boris is moving first in n minus 2 cards. So you can say your answer is n minus 2 Cn by 2 plus dp of n minus 2 and 0, the number of ways Alex wins. Similarly, for dp of n0, that is the number of ways this is Boris wins, and number of ways Alex wins is how much? N minus 1 Cn by 2 plus, so you removed n minus 1 and n, you are left with n minus 2 cards, right? So now Boris will move first and Alex will move second, right? So now you can say that Alex is equivalent to Boris, right? Because Alex is moving second now. So Alex is equivalent to Boris. So you just want to find the number of ways Boris wins. So that is how much? That is dp of n minus 2 and 1, right? So your dp of n comma 1 is how much? N minus 2 Cn by 2 plus dp of n minus 2 0, and your dp of n0, that is number of ways Alex wins, is how much? N minus Cn by 2 plus dp of n minus 2 and 1. And your dp of n comma 2 is how much? It is just equivalent to dp of n minus 2 and 2, right? The number of ways you can draw in n minus 2 cards. So that is the solution, and that is what you are required to do. And if you guys want to see the code for this, here is the code. So here I have my solve function. So I will take in n, I will create a dp of size n and 3 parameters 0, 1 and 2. This is my base case. dp of 2 0 is equal to 1, dp of 2 1 is equal to 0, and dp of 2 2 is equal to 1. So I will just do a recursion, and in my recursion, if n is equal to 2, I will just return. Otherwise I will solve for n minus 2, and my dp of n0 is how much? It is ncr n minus 1 n by 2 plus dp of n minus 2 1, and ncr n minus 2 Cn by 2. This is just n minus 1 Cn by 2 and n minus 2 Cn by 2 plus dp of n minus 2 and 0, and use modulo also. And my dp of n by 2 is how much? Dp of n2 is how much? It is dp of n minus 2 and 2. And in the end, I can just print out my dpn0, dpn1 and dpn2, and that will be my solution. So that was the entire problem. And if you guys have a doubt, feel free to ask me in the comments or join my Discord server, and I will be more than happy to answer your doubts there. So that was it for this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Also, if you guys don't know, Continue Newton School is offering a full stack development course. The course is over 6 months long, and it is totally based on pay after placement model, and you don't have to pay anything. There is zero hidden fees, there is zero upfront fees, and they are granting you a minimum package of rupees 5 lakhs, and the average package is rupees 7 lakhs, and the highest package is over rupees 26 lakhs. So it is a very great opportunity.
Also, all their mentors are from top MNCs like Google, Flipkart, Zomato, etc. Also, they will get you placed into the top MNCs as well, like Google, Flipkart, Zomato. You can learn from the mentors that are working at those companies, and you can land a job at those companies yourselves. Also, you don't need to worry if you guys think कि या मेरे को भी कोडिंग आती नहीं है, मैं भी फ्रेशर, मेरे को बिल्कुल नहीं आता है. The course is over 6 months long and they will teach you from scratch, so you can still sign up for this. And if you guys are looking for a career in the tech field, this is a very great head start that you should sign up for. And if you want to land a job, I highly vouch for this. And if you guys want to sign up, there will be a link down below and you can go and sign up from there. So yeah, be sure to sign up for this, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.